What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to Sauce Sports. If you're not familiar with Sauce Sports, well, I'm eating a cookie. Sauce Sports is a Houston Texans home network. We talk all sports, but only Houston. With that being said, I'm your host, Honcho. You know, this is where we primarily talk Texans. You know, a lot of you have been asking about Butler and the Rockets and everything they got going on that. I'm going to give y'all some Rockets content, maybe a live stream, but I know definitely we'll be dropping a video on Sauce Sports TV. So make sure you're subscribed to Sauce Sports TV if you give a shit about the Rockets. If not, well, there's that. Today we're going to talk about the Texans, and like I told y'all, I'm going to change the format up a little bit as far as the live streams and things like that. The live streams are going to be more about y'all and you guys getting the opportunity to express your opinion. So I'm not going to talk for a very long time, and we'll open up the sauce line. We'll take some calls. We'll have the 10-minute rule in effect, so that we can get a few calls before, probably maybe go an hour, hour and a half. We'll see how long we go today. And then stay tuned. We'll try to have what we're going to do, like I say, right now, because the audio issues, until we get it all the way worked out, as far as having the round on, we'll have like 2 different types of live streams. And so when it's a roundtable live stream, we'll focus mainly on taking, questions from the chat and probably from the text line. And then like when it's like me one deep, I'll spill my sauce, and then we'll take calls. Because whenever we have the round on, because of the way everything's set up, it's, you can't hear them replying back to what you want to say. And it's just all that repeating shit. I'm not going to keep doing that shit. That shit gets annoying real fast. So it's just more convenient to operate this way. Right now until training camp, probably going to be starting next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday sauce. But we're going to start dropping a lot more content, try to drop some content daily, maybe 2 or 3 times a day if possible, between the main Sauce channel and Sauce Sports TV. Let me see. And I'm debating on, I'm not sure yet, may end up moving the sauce up from 7 to 6. Not 100% sure on that yet. Just, kind of working with some other things going on, see how everything works out. I'll know by the end of the weekend. And so it may be updated from 7 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Just working on change between this and the den and some other things I got going on, personally in the real world. So just trying to really get the schedule adequate. Appreciate the love. Shout out to Voodoo Child, Cookie. Appreciate the love. Hold on, I ain't even got the damn motherfucking audio on. God damn it. I need it. I love the song. Shout out to Voodoo Child. Appreciate the love, man. Thank you for dripping some sauce. Let's see what we got joining us tonight, man. I just had to get all that little commentary out the way. Then I'll tell you what I'm talking about as far as funny feelings. Then we'll get the sauce line over. We'll take some calls, man. Sauce Nation, I miss y'all. I know I ain't been giving y'all the drip like you need, but we've been trying to drop some shorter content here and there. Professor Trill, what's the motherfucking deal? Freddie A, what's the motherfucking deal? James Harden, Bug McCaffrey, Wink, what's the motherfucking deal? You betcha. Heidi. Debo, Voodoo Child, one half of the greatest moderated couple in all the world. T-Real, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see, Tavares Dabney, what's the motherfucking deal? Ferocious Film, what's the motherfucking deal? Oh, the audio was on? Okay, cool. All right, okay. I wonder if it gets to play through the whatchamacallit. All right, cool. Let me see. Let's see. Miss Voodoo Child, the better half of the greatest moderating couple in all the land. Let me see. Yeah, Hakeem was the GOAT, man. As of late, people been coming to that old video I did about the Rockets. I think 94 Rockets versus the Bulls. Or Rockets versus the Bulls a while back, and arguing how the Bulls would have just demolished. Right? It's not even close. They couldn't even beat fucking Orlando. How they gonna beat the fucking Rockets? But there's that. Don't listen to anything Heidi says. Heidi is a thief. She'll rob you. Byron Hollis, what's the motherfucking deal? Shout out to G-Town. Jay Chastain, what's the motherfucking deal? Texan Boy, what's the motherfucking deal? Jimmy R, hey, Sosa Livio. Hotspot, what's the motherfucking deal? It's your boy Roman, what's the motherfucking deal? Nathan Edwards, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. Kevin Preston, what's the motherfucking deal? Harm Clark, shout out to Harm Clark, what's the motherfucking deal? 335 in the house, the stenographer in the motherfucking house. Shout out to 335. I don't know. It sounds like look like a new name. Anybody know a Kenneth? I've never heard of Kenneth before. Sounds pretty new, relatively new. I don't know. Let me up the audio a little bit. So let's talk about. So here's what I'm talking about. Funny feeling. Okay. Here's what I'm talking about. Funny feeling. And again, we've been trying to present things from a more positive aspect, talking about the good that can happen. The good things that we feel. I'm trying to think about what the positive. Charles Montgomery, what's the motherfucking deal, man? Kenneth cannot be trusted. Absolutely cannot. And so you got to come some other content I want to get to you too. I got a recorded video that I think is gonna be very interesting. Hopefully we can get that tomorrow. See what's going on with the roundtable. Hopefully we can get that a good one going for y'all tomorrow. But all I'm saying is it's just a funny feeling. Now, don't get it wrong. I want the Texans to go undefeated. I want the Texans to win out. If Bill O'Brien does it out, I'll revoke every negative thing that I said about him. D-Love, what's the motherfucking deal? Pay your debts. Oh my God, the Den is a whole different animal. I don't. That shit is out of control. Yeah. Bretto. I hope he had him a couple. I hope Bretto, man. But see, a lot of Sauce don't know about Bretto, right? You know. So Jimmy Salone, what's the motherfucking deal? D-Love, man, you just. The Den is a whole nother animal, y'all. I'm not even gonna get to that right now. It's but what I'm saying is, I have a funny feeling right now, from the front office to my personal opinion on the talent acquisition, the lack of the GM. I don't know. And if I'm going to keep it real, if I'm going to keep it all the way real, I wasn't really high on the Texans prior to a lot of the stuff that was happening up until now. And then with the roof kind of getting blown off with the Gaines firing situation, it just, I don't know. I just got a funny vibe about this team, and I don't think it's a good feeling. I don't know. I don't have a negative opinion on Cal right now. I think Cal did what he had to do. He tried to seize an opportunity. It just didn't work out the way he wanted. You know, I'm not faulting Cal. But where I get the funny feeling is, and I know people talking about Easterby. Easterby was like a character coach, and now he's damn near a GM for the Tech. I mean, he's basically almost sharing GM duties with O'Brien. That's a weird thing. I guess that's the way you move up. You can't give Sean Ryan an offensive coordinator position, but you bring a character coach and he's damn near a GM. But anyway, I don't know, man. I just got questions about this organization. The players, understand this, even from all the other niggas, the players, I have the utmost confidence. I have the utmost confidence in Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins, J.J. Watt, even McKinney. McKinney looked a lot better last year. Justin Reed, absolutely. I want to say Clowney, but I don't know what the Clowney situation is, so I'm wavering on that. But you know, I have faith in Clowney. I'm just wavering on the situation. Like, I can't call it. I honestly don't think he's going to be here, personally. I really don't think he's going to be here, but these are just my thoughts, right? It's hard for me to find stable footing with this franchise because everything is just up in the air, right? Even if they are waiting for, what's his name, Nick Caserio, right? That's the word. Everybody's waiting on Nick Caserio. He can't get free of the Patriots until after the next draft, right? So he won't even really be. He really won't even have an impact on the players that come into next season. So it's like almost going. You're going to go another year essentially without, I won't say without a GM, but we talk about if O'Brien gets fired, then what? Like, it's just a big clusterfuck of a situation that has the potential of happening. Now, on the flip side, O'Brien has a great year. He's here another year. The Texans restore faith in him. And, well, we got to deal with butt chin for a few more years. If we're winning and we're getting to places this franchise hasn't been, I have no problem with that. But if O'Brien goes a season without making the playoffs, if O'Brien goes another first round and out and not even being competitive, before all this happened, I felt like this season was kind of
Like I felt like they were throwing it under. It felt like a throwaway season. All the 1-year contracts, and that's why I say, funny feeling. I want to know how y'all feel. These are just my feelings. So when I open up the line here and just say, I want to know how y'all feel. But this season didn't feel right prior to Brian Gaines firing. Too many 1-year contracts. Like it's like they didn't. It almost felt like they didn't really have a plan. They just know, hey, we need to protect Deshaun. Outside of that, it's kind of throw up in the air. I don't know. After 6 years, I've lost more confidence in Bill O'Brien than I had. Early on, I was on the Bill O'Brien chain. Okay, he didn't have a quarterback till you find out those are the quarterbacks he really actually wanted. You know, you say, okay, well, you know, injury situation. Okay, it is what it is. But then when you still get into that situation, you don't scheme your way out of trouble. You don't win the big games when they're right there for the taking. Still a lot of same boneheaded moves that we've seen year in and year out. And the fact that they have not aggressively pursued keeping Clowney. We can argue about his Clowney worth it all day long. But obviously, they didn't go and get anybody to replace him. I don't know who in the next year's draft is going to be a physical specimen like Clowney. They lose everybody. We've lost all the. It seems like we've lost all the free agents that could have been worthwhile. Doesn't seem like they have a lot of faith in Roby, and I know he's kind of dinged up. That's very interesting. You know, Khalil. It's just I don't know, man. I just got a funny feeling about this next season. I'm gonna be rooting Texans all the way. Especially since, you know, on the other channel now it's a bunch of Saints, and it's a Saints fan, a Panthers fan, and a Falcons fan somehow in the den. And it's like, yeah, we'll just have a bunch of fucking fans from the NFC South just somehow get in the mix. And so I got to talk big shit. So I'm gonna talk plenty of shit this year. Don't worry. Right now I'm talking shit about the Texans, but when the season starts, I will be shitting on the competition. Please believe it. That will never change. Let's open up this line, man. I've been talking long enough. I want to know how y'all feel. I ain't heard from y'all in a minute. Let's see what's on the mind of the people. Let's see. Let's get the sauce line activated. Let me make sure I got the proper protocol on. And let's see. The one touchdown. Whew, I don't even want to talk about that one touchdown, because when you go back and watch the replay, it was questionable. But like I said, I have faith in the players. But let's be realistic. This Texans teams the last few years have been injuries from a lot of key players. So what makes you feel this year that they're just going to go injury free? You're going to lose, knock on wood, a key player somewhere during this season. And that is going to impact the season in a major way, because, you know, Bill O'Brien can't coach his way out of a paper bag, right? You know? And look, like I said, I'm going to talk about the Rockets on Sauce Sports TV most likely tomorrow. And I'm going to talk all about Capella and that little yellow piece of shit he got in his hair. All right, we got the line open up. Let's see who we got calling in. Let me make sure I get the right fucking mic, because it switches off every time. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in on the sauce line this evening?
A Saints fan, a Falcons fan, Panthers, and look, it's not a coincidence that the year that we played at NFC South, that we had these fans in here. I'm telling you, they are Russian spies, Honcho. You gotta be careful. They spying on us. All right, they're trying to get out. They're trying to get as much input as they possibly can and report it to their source. All right, we played the NFC South this year. All right, but yeah, that's my input on that. So you might wanna get your moderators ready. Boot their asses up out the den.
We
it might be the reason we go going forward, huh?
We already know DeMarque is a spy. We came to that conclusion last night. We figured out that you know, we have some spies in the mix. But yeah.
I think DeMarcus is a Patriots fan, low key, so you might want to be careful for that, because we already have one win over them. We don't want to keep losing to them. So But yeah, this organization. But I guess I'll just start off with Bradley Roby, the cornerback from free agency.
Okay.
I'm not too high on him either. Like I wasn't, but apparently he's been slowing down Tyreek Hill in Kansas City. Like he played him twice. He played him twice a year, but apparently, like I'm not even sure. I haven't even seen it, but apparently he's been slowing down Tyreek Hill. So, I mean, is that what you've been saying?
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Because if that's the case, then he could possibly solve our T.Y. problem because I'd much rather go up against him than young Tyreek. So, like I said, I'm not too high on him. I think there are better corners we could have gotten in the draft. I mean, in the free agency, my bad. In the free agency.
To draft and a free agent, either one.
Exactly. I mean, looking at the cornerback, like the secondary situation right now, like I wouldn't say we got better from last year, but I'm saying that we missed out on opportunities that we could have had from free agency and the draft. I already told you I wanted Ronald Darby from the Eagles, but I mean honestly he came off an ACL injury, but I saw him week 1 and I liked what he was doing. But I mean we got Lonnie Johnson and I like him as well, but we could have had him and Greedy Williams and just a little food for thought. I mean we could have done a lot better than we did. And yeah, and the decision to fire Brian Game, like that caught me off guard. And the only thing that could tell me is that Cal McNair wants to be aggressive. He actually want to see this franchise win. Now, I'm not saying that was the timing of it was perfect, but I mean the fact that he did it, that says a lot to me. So, Honcho, look, I was driving the other day, right? And I just had to randomly had the radio on, like a Texans talk show. I'm not even sure who it was, but they were basically asking, what should we be afraid of what are people afraid of when Deshaun Watson dropped back? And he started comparing other quarterbacks like Big Ben, Russell Wilson. Like we know what to expect, or we know what to be afraid of when they drop back. We know what to be afraid of when Tom Brady snaps the ball. Right, but they was asking, what should people be fear when Deshaun Watson, I guess what is his greatest attribute? And my answer to that was give him an offensive line, and we'll find out. But yeah, I'm excited about his talent. And if we do go 10-6 and better, it'll be because of him. Because let's just be real, we've been 11-5 because we had Deshaun at quarterback. I mean, anybody who disagrees, just imagine if we had any other quarterbacks before Deshaun Watson with this same schedule this year that just passed. So I mean, but I think he got a point. Like we haven't seen Deshaun with a good offensive line or with healthy talent. I mean, just imagine if DT was healthy, would have had him, Fuller, and Hopkins, and Kiki. Just imagine that. But we haven't really seen Deshaun. And one thing that I cannot stand is people who like to ride on Pat Mahomes. He said that Pat Mahomes was arguably the best quarterback in the NFL, which I just don't get. I can't understand that. I tell people all the time that Pat Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, he doesn't have a Travis Kelce to throw to. He doesn't have Andy Reid as his head coach. He doesn't have Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, and all of that stuff. I don't get how hard that is to understand. Now, I'm not even being biased, or maybe I am. But I think Deshaun Watson is just. I feel like neck and neck. I wouldn't say Pat is better. I would say Deshaun is better, but I could be biased.
This is my thoughts on that. With Mahomes, I will say Mahomes has a stronger arm. I'll give him that. Mahomes has a cannon on him. But when it comes to just overall, if you put them both in the same situation, I think Deshaun would excel. Deshaun has to create on the fly. I don't think people realize, if you go back and really break down and look at what Deshaun, the plays that he had successes with, what was really going on.
he made certain plays that were off schedule look routine. And that's because of his mobility. That's because of, again, he has a high football IQ. People like to think a certain way because of certain quarterbacks. We already know the stigma and the stereotypes, but I don't think most people realize the situation that he was. I mean, he probably had the least amount of time of any quarterback in the NFL to get rid of the ball. So when you said that, as far as him, what's your biggest, what to expect when he drops back? All I hope is he doesn't get sacked. Like that's really honestly it, because I think that's what's in his mind. Because I mean, come on, how can you the routes can't develop? You really can't do much, especially in this O'Brien system. You basically had no tight ends all year.
Right.
It's just like he was working with a deficit. If you put Pat Mahomes behind this line, he would get annihilated and would maybe get you. He might get you 25 touchdowns because again, Pat Mahomes had time. But if you saw Pat Mahomes under pressure, he's nothing. He's not in the same realm of Watson. When Pat Mahomes is about to get crushed, he folds. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not knocking any of the rest of his skill set, but he doesn't stand tall like that to me. I mean, there's a couple plays he did. I ain't gonna lie, there's a couple plays he did, but for the most part, he folds. In my opinion. And yes, the Texans are making him David Carr 2.0. It's very upsetting.
The crazy thing is he did a lot of that stuff with the offensive line that he had. Like, how many of you was affected in that last touchdown he threw against Philly last year? He scored 14 points within 2 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, and then they let him go, away. Pat Mahomes was nowhere near under it's not even close. Pat Mahomes was nowhere near under the same pressure as Deshaun Watson. Not even close. So my thing is like I say, the thing about Deshaun is, and then you got to look at it. At one point, he basically had one receiver who was getting double covered all year long. Because your number two guy's out of there. The Texans don't develop anybody. Kiki was in and out of the lineup, so you kind of had to play with a hodgepodge of other players and not really having that chemistry with him. Right. Again, it's a big difference when you got Hunt, Hill, Kelsey, and all these other guys around you to lighten your load. So again, people got to take all these other things into effect, and then a much more solid offensive line. Again, so it's not even close to the same situation.
It's not even close. I would definitely take Deshaun, but I will give Kansas City some props. I mean, they have a terrible secondary, which people like to point out, and have to rely on their offense, kind of like you did in 2017. But other than that, it's always going to be Deshaun. What else? Okay, so about the GM situation. I talked about that already. But here's the thing. I understand. Like, I see Cal trying to be aggressive and trying to turn his franchise around, but the one thing that they're consistent at that irks me is just the Patriots. Like, they're constantly trying to be the New England Patriots. Like, we had a chance to get Joe Douglas. That's all I wanted. I wanted Joe Douglas from Philly. Ended up going to New York, which, I mean, how are they going to do this season? That's on them. But like I said, we're constantly trying to be the New England Patriots, and it's really starting to become obvious now. We only have one franchise win over the Patriots, and I believe that was a Week 17 game back in 2009.
Yeah, a while back.
But there are teams that we've never defeated. Philly is one of them. I mean, we saw how they jumped in front of us and took a much needed.
Philly beating us on and off the field. It's embarrassing. It really is embarrassing. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, it was an embarrassing feeling. And again, this is not any shade on the kid they picked up. I can't even think of his name right now. Whatever his name was, they picked up from Alabama State. But the Texans had everything fall into their hands. Everything the draft fell perfectly into your hands up until the pick right before yours. And instead of saying, let's go ahead and secure and get the guy we want, we ain't even got to be really aggressive. We could be kind of aggressive. We could probably give up a late round pick, a guy that we don't even have a lot of confidence in anyway.
Just move up
one spot just to secure this. But instead, they get hosed again by Philly. Then they go and make this desperate reach because it was in their mind the entire time they were going to go old lineman in the first round no matter what. And so they go and get this guy. I can't think of his name for shit. What is his name?
Talking Titus Howard? Like, who you
Titus
talking
Howard.
about?
Yeah, Titus Howard. I can't even think of the kid's name. I
Okay.
knew it was Howard. I was about to call him Terrence Howard. Goddamn. I don't know which one to say. Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard might be just as good. But, you know, and that's just my deal, man. Like, I love my team. I'm always love the team. I'm a representative, but it's just like, goddamn, man. It's some of this shit seems like common sense, but when you get, you know, when you get people who are too smart for their own good, the smarter a person is, the more book smarts, it seems like the less common sense that they have. And right now, the Texans are, especially with Brian Gaines, they were trying to be too damn smart, and it's like they didn't have any common sense and go and get the talent that they fucking needed. But, you know, it is what it is.
Last thing I'm gonna talk about is just the future of this franchise and like the misfortune. I mean, it seems like this team is just unfortunate. I mean, I know the Browns had their era, but it seems like this team is unfortunate. From like me personally, I'm never gonna get over that not signing Peyton Manning. Yeah, I'm never gonna get over that. I guess Deshaun is gonna have to bring some Super Bowls, like for real, to the city for me to get over that. But I mean, whenever we have it easy, like whenever like we have one job, all we gotta do is just play the card, like make the right moves, regardless of how easy it is. You find a way to screw stuff up. You find a way to mess it up. So, I mean, Rick Smith, I think he was relatively a bad GM. Oh, maybe not the best, but I think he was probably one of the best in the league when it came to first round picks. Right? When there was a study that showed that like all the first round picks that he had from 2008 on up was still on the team. I forgot exactly what he said, but no, he was pretty good with the first round pick. So, like, who do you think he would have went for, or how do you think he would have handled this first round pick that passed?
I have no idea. I can't even guess on that. I think I would have liked to believe he would have got aggressive. If the board was falling the way that it was, I would have liked to have believed that he would have got aggressive and at least made a move or two to go ahead and secure a need, especially after losing Dwayne Brown. But, you know, who knows? Who really fucking knows, man?
And now that's all I got, Honcho. Appreciate you for taking the call.
Okay. All right. Appreciate the call, D-Love. That's a tough question. Like I said, well, I guess I muted myself. I muted myself. I forgot the D and the sauce. The audios are switched, so I'll block myself. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den? I mean, talking about the den now. Tell the sauce line this evening.
Man, it's your boy Roman.
Roman, what's the motherfucking deal? Roman, how are you feeling about the future of this franchise? I mean, do you think this is a temporary problem that will be all right? Do you think it's going to have long-term ramifications? Like, what are your thoughts on what's going on with the Texans right now?
You know, I think with the problem we have right now, I think it's a temporary problem that could turn into a long problem. You get what I mean? That can hurt us in the future. Because when you have no GM, the thing is, it kind of crumbles your whole team. You know, and what I mean by GM, a stable GM, especially one who has experience in the league. When you're going off a coach, and then what's the other one? He was like a careness coach or something like that.
He was a character coach.
Oh yeah, character coach, and then a damn head coach trying to be your GM. Man, that's just the art, and that's just ready for a dumpster fire coming. So I think I'll say this: if your plan is to just go into this season like this, right? This is how you is. No GM. You going in with Bill and the other guy. I can't think of his name right now. As co-GMs, and you going with the team you got. The thing is, what I'm expecting is this. I don't really expect us having a good record. I expect Bill to be fired. And then we're going next year. I'm kind of hoping if we do have a bad year, I want it to be the worst team. I want the first pick. Because shit, we need some. Or a high draft pick. Because we never have a high draft pick. Get that, get some draft picks around here, and we can actually start doing something. But we don't know if that's going to happen. So we have to wait to see. But talking about this year, man, we're a dumpster fire, Honcho. I know I'm not about to talk about the Rockets, but I know a lot of people call the Rockets kind of heated right now, but shit, at least they have a GM. They're competitive to try to make the team better. Right now, I feel like we're trying to make the team worse. I mean, when you have somebody like Deshaun Watson, who is clearly a franchise quarterback, who's clearly ready to take this team to new levels, and you give him no quality linemen to defend him, you're getting scrubs out here. You're getting bums. You're getting, mediocreness, even at best, is what you're getting. So I don't know. In a way, that gives me what is your mindset? What do you see in these players that's really going to help Deshaun? Are you targeting a first-round pick or a high draft pick? Because with this O-line we have, if they don't shock us, look, what I'm looking at, Honcho, the man could have 60 sacks again. Because that's the thing about Deshaun. You give him time, he's going to give you what you want. I know people talk about him and Pat. The thing is, Pat showed that a lot of times in that AFC Championship game, Pat didn't turn up until around the fourth quarter. That first and second quarter, when the Patriots was at his ass, he was messing up. He was going back. And I'm not saying Deshaun hasn't done that, but Deshaun has proven himself way better under pressure. So what I'm saying is, when you don't get quality, especially linemen, around this man, he's not going to improve. Then you're going to have these stupid-ass people out here, fans that don't know football. Oh, my God, trade Deshaun. Deshaun's doing horrible. He ain't doing his job. The man ain't got no protection. He can't produce for you when he's running for his life. What's the point? Then the injury bug. I mean, I'm hoping Fuller and Kuti can come back healthy. But Fuller coming back from an ACL injury, which I think he'll be okay because he's a young player. Young players, most times, young players do better than older players with ACL injuries because they're younger. Their bodies, heal faster, but it's still an ACL injury. And he's going to take a couple weeks to get back to normal. Then you got Kuti. We don't know his future. He got injured so many times. So you're really just living off the hands of DeAndre Hopkins. And that could potentially hurt you. Then your running back situations all over the place. I'm hearing that Lamar Miller wants more snaps and wants a bit of a role in the offense, but what's he really proven? What have he done to make Lamar look like a first option? Then you still got Foreman out there who from what I've been hearing, has been doing great in OTAs, and he wants a bigger role. And then we go to the defense. I mean, we still don't have no answer for Clowney. Clowney might not be here. Watt's getting older. It's a dumpster fire right now, Honcho. I'll be honest with you, Honcho. I could really see in this season, I could see us shocking everybody and everybody eating the crow, and that we could possibly have a good season because Texans to fuck around and do some shit like that. Or I could see us having a bad season. Like, I'm talking 4-12. I'm talking, not a good season. You get what I mean? The schedule, you have the fourth hardest schedule in the league, and you are the hardest schedule in your division. So we have to wait to see. Now, the sad thing about the Texans, Honcho, is that the main storyline is hearing that Deshaun Watson got baptized in fucking Jerusalem. Like, come on, man. No disrespect.
So you sacrilegious? I mean, I thought you was I thought you were a religious man. So you beefing with this?
Well,
man?
No, don't take
you
this
got a problem
off.
with Jerusalem? I mean, what's going on? What's up?
No,
what's going on?
I was just about to say.
I don't like what I'm hearing.
just about to say.
I don't like what I'm hearing.
Oh my God. I was just about to say, that's good for him, man. I was just about to say, I'm a Christian, so I respect that. But for a team, that's not the number one thing that needs to be talked about. We need to talk about what we doing to hire GM. Are we going to get Nicky Scissors? Oh, what are we doing? I'm not hearing no improvement. Well, you got the Rockets, on the other hand. You hear new articles about this every minute. Just saying, man. So, I don't know, man. I don't see us doing good this year, but I could be wrong, man. I want to eat the crow, so we'll see, man. But it's your boy, Roman, man. I'm out.
I really appreciate the call there, Roman.
Man, anytime.
Already. It's a slow part of it. It's a slow part of the off season. Camp will be up in a little bit and things will be back active. But it's a tough situation right now. It really is. It's just because you're like in limbo, in purgatory right now, kind of figuring out what the Texans are going to do. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we have calling in to the sauce line this evening?
This Jay, Honcho. What's going on, man?
Jay, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What's on your mind this evening, man? How you
It's
been?
you, man. It's you.
How you been, man? What's been going on with you, Jay, man? You got all the good. I know you got all the good fishing spots sold up, man. Cause
No. Texas is big, man. I ain't found them all yet.
okay,
I'm gonna have to come get you, and we can go do something though.
yeah, okay. We have to, because I got to do something because the Texans gonna be gone fishing. I might as well go on fishing, goddamn.
All right. Honcho, you say you had mixed feelings, huh?
Yeah, mixed feelings. It's a part of me that as football season draws closer, you ready to go to war for your team, and you gonna represent them. But it's just the things that they're doing. It really makes it hard for me to feel 100% confident, not in the players, but in the management of this team, that front office. And we've already talked about this front office having issues for years. It just seems like it's a whole clusterfuck going on up there, and I don't know what to think about it. And if these are the people who are supposed to be bringing in more talent, in case of injuries will happen. It's just a thing, and these are the guys you're relying on to bring in talent, and a lot of these guys have never really held that role. Like I'm just questioning everything that's going on, the decision making, and what's going to happen with my boy Clown. I'm not 100% confident. Now, I guess that's the best way to put it.
Oh, okay. Well, since last time I talked to you, that contract still hadn't been signed, has it?
No. Don't look
And
any
how long
closer.
does it take to make that phone call or send a text? It don't take that long, does it?
No, just a
So
couple seconds.
looks like the problem may be with O'Brien. It could have been with O'Brien and Game, but that problem hadn't been solved.
Yeah.
Honcho, if you why did you go after what's his name, Scissors or whatever the GM or whatever position he supposedly have in New England? Why did you go for the root instead of the branch? Because Belichick is what everybody wants.
Yes.
His victories, his Super Bowl championships. That's what you want. So why couldn't you just send a text or inquire about him every year? Only thing you can say is no.
No. Well, they ain't gonna let. They got a GPS monitor on Bellis. They ain't gonna let him go anywhere. But I'd rather.
Well,
if you're gonna try to take the Patriots way, you might as well take the man that is the Patriots way, instead of trying to get all these little ancillary pieces and thinking that they're gonna make your franchise. Well, maybe they learned something from maybe. If you haven't seen time and time again that nobody has learned anything from Bill Belichick, then good luck with that, because people like that. They're not the greatest teachers. You know what I'm saying? You can be in their presence for the longest, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're teaching you, well, this is what I do, this is what I do, this is what you may be able to watch and try to study something from him, but he's not teaching anybody the ways of Bill Belichick.
And I understand that. But everybody has an ego. And here's the thing. Brady can't say he won one, nor can Belichick say he's won one as a head coach without either one. So he has an ego. Everybody has an ego, some bigger than others. But what he wants to do is say, hey, I can take my system and win anywhere I go.
Yeah.
And a lot of coaches, you've got 2 or 3 in the NBA who've done that. And who's to say he wouldn't have done the same thing if you would have inquired? I mean, I don't know if we say what's the guy, Scissors or whatever, we say that he was the GM, but who's to say? I think Belichick's more the GM and the coach, and he wears a lot more hats than they give him credit for.
Yeah.
Because they were winning championships before this guy got there. So it's not about him. I mean, O'Brien, he's going to do an effed up job again, as whatever he is, because if you can remember before they got Deshaun Watson, do you remember all those 2nd and 10, 3rd and 9? He was throwing the ball 2 or 3 yards down the field and expect them to get a first down.
Man.
Come on, man. I mean, that was wasted. You waste 2 downs pretty much every series doing that same bullshit.
Motherfuckers ain't even getting past the first down marker to try to make a play.
That's right. Throw the ball past the just like you said. But I mean, he still has the same mentality. It hasn't changed.
Yeah.
Just the time has changed. He hasn't, and he's not going to do. I thought he would be walking. I thought he would walk out this year after this terrible season that's coming up. But if McNair doesn't push him out, it's going to be trouble in Houston.
I still want to remain
Because
confident.
I don't think the players would want to continue to play for him with the way he's doing things.
I think that Clowney's going to have a big impact on that locker room with him not being there, because let's be honest, who do you really have? You got Justin Reed now. He got a little spicy to him, you know, but he ain't. Clowney gonna talk that shit. He gonna lay a hit, you know. He's that guy you need. I love JJ and everything. JJ is just a nice guy that can play really good football. JJ is he's intimidating by his play, but he doesn't seem like the guy that gets the team fired up. You know what I'm saying? He's too much of a nice guy. He's like it's too much niceness in JJ. Like with all that middle of the game handshaking and picking guys up and congratulating on record breaking type shit, like JJ's too nice. You gotta have some dogs. Again, like I said, young Reed was a nice element. You know, Clowney's probably the only other guy. I don't know so much about B-Mac. The rest of the guys, you got some older guys. I don't know about some of the youth. Lonnie looks like he might talk a little bit of trash, but you got more people who talk big shit on the offensive side of the ball than you do on the defensive side of the ball.
What offensive lineman gonna step up and talk shit and back it up? When is that gonna happen?
Oh, them was just jokes. That's not going to happen. I don't think they got a guy in a position who can. I mean, who? I mean, and this is what I'm saying. Like, how much of an impact do you think that, you know, what they saw at OTAs led to Gaines getting fired? Like, how much of an impact do you think that was? That they were just not confident that you know, maybe they saw these players on OTAs like, wow, this guy really went and got us a bunch of, you know, development players in the early rounds, wasted a lot of picks, wasted a lot of talent. We need to get somebody who knows what they're doing. Do you think that had an impact on Gaines getting fired?
Yes, sir. Probably at least 40-50%.
Yeah.
I mean, Honcho, you need to help and get O'Brien out of there, because the situation's not going to get any better with him there. Go on and get rid of him and take the loss on the damn salary. And just get rid of him.
Yeah. I think he's out of here, though. I think if he doesn't, because, you know, the way he came out talking in those press conferences, I finally had a chance to get back and go watch him and then really examine his demeanor for myself. I feel like Cal put those words in his ear. Look, if you don't take this team to where we haven't been, you go. You've been here long enough. You've had enough opportunities. You got a quarterback. You got the best receiver in the game. You know, you got weapons around him. Now, the part you're supposed to do as a coach, which is develop talent and put them in the right place, and call plays, since you want to do all of this stuff. You know, I don't think that I don't think he has any excuse this year. He has no excuses this season. No injuries aren't an excuse. You know, nothing. You got all the guys you want. Apparently you and Gaines were stepping in step with opinions and feelings. So Howard must have been a guy you wanted. Like, if Bill O'Brien does not produce, if Bill O'Brien does not put up, if he doesn't get to the second round, and compete, and I'm not talking about get to the second round and get blown out, I think he's gone personally. That's just, but first he's got to get to the playoff. I really honestly don't think it's going to be a playoff season. And I hate to say it because it sounds disheartening, but I don't think it's going to be a playoff season. And even if he does get to the playoffs, he's going to have to get to the second round and compete. Otherwise, I think he's out of here, no matter what.
Well, I'm in a hurry to see him leave. I really am. Things would be a lot better around there, and I'll be glad when his final day is here, though.
No.
I think it's gonna
I'm
be.
burning it up.
Man, what you over there cooking, man? You sound like. what you chopping up over there, man?
I'm burning it up. Now, my neighbor just brought me some fish, man, and it sure was good. It sure was good. I was shocked. They brought me some over a few minutes ago, right before you come on. Stop. Say, Honcho, barring injury, QT will be a star in this league. He will be just as good as Wes Welker, Amendola, and Edelman up there in New England, if not better, if he's not injured. He is what they needed when they was doing all them 2nd and 10s, 3rd and 9, because he had that elusiveness to do what you need him to do. And Houston they haven't had that before. Well, they've had it, but they never utilized it.
Yeah.
They put the wrong people in the wrong positions. And I'm excited I will be excited seeing him on the field and with Fuller and Hop to see what they can do, man. They could be the most dangerous threesome in the league.
And that's the thing. And it's like they could be, but and then I'm like, who's calling these plays again? O'Brien. Like I just don't see him maximizing the talent because, like, again, if Kiki stays healthy, he's a legit player. He's a great pick. He just had those injuries, and I think that was just a rookie year thing. I'm not even gonna fault him for that. Will Fuller stays healthy. We know what kind of threat he is. He's become a much more complete receiver over the years, so he's not just a deep threat. You know, he can get you to intermediate. He can do a lot more. He's got hands. He's got aggressive. You know, you saw him take some big hits. We saw him laying some hits last year. We already know that DeAndre Hopkins has the best hands in the game, and it's not even close. So the tools are there, and if Foreman is anything like they're saying he's looking, you know, if they do implement Lamar Miller, you know, into the passing game, you have weapons. But will Bill O'Brien utilize even the little new tight end they picked up? He's very interesting. Kahale Warring, very interesting to see what he can do. You still got Thomas, who's got solid hands. He's looking like a starter. So you have talent, but is Bill O'Brien going to put these guys and maximize their skill set, put them in the best positions? He's calling plays, he's coaching, and he's going to have to be scouting for talent apparently too, being a GM. I don't have any faith in him, in the coach himself. That's the players. I think are going to be a-okay regardless. I think they're going to put up decent numbers for themselves. But I think when it comes situational, when the game's on the line in certain ways, it's just that O'Brien is going to fall short in his duties of being able to put these guys in the right position to win.
Honcho, I'm going to ask you one more question, and I'm going to let you go.
Okay.
Why does O'Brien no one holds that offensive line coach accountable? Because you have nobody in the top 10, top 15, maybe even top 20 in the league on that offensive line, period. Why is nobody holding him accountable? I mean, you've got the sorriest ass offensive line in the league.
Yeah, I think the best one. I want to say one of the was like 65th or something was like the best player that we had as far as offensive lineman. Something crazy number. It was 40 at best, but I want to say it was either 45th or 65th was like the best lineman we had, and it was terrible. But what I'm saying is the excuse that they give him is, oh well, you know, they never gave him a first round draft pick. They never gave him, you know, top draft picks to allow him to develop. Well, now you got that, so that's why I say there's no excuses this year. You went and gave him a first round draft pick. You went backdoor and gave him a second round draft pick. If these guys don't develop, there are no excuses. You got early round draft picks, and so if you can't make these guys what they are, I'm sure you've had some input on these guys. It's the guys you like to work with, you know, all these Senior Bowl guys, but it is what it is. So again, if he can't bring them up to par, it is what it is. You know, he's had years to work with some of these other guys who have the physical attributes. Can't get them right. They don't look any better. Davenport doesn't necessarily look any better. You know, it's going on year 3 for him. And again, so we'll see. But the excuse that everybody makes for him is the fact that, he never had, you know, a first round draft pick. So he you know, that's why they never gave him the talent to work with. Like, come on, man. If you're a good coach, you're a good coach. You'll take later round talent and develop it. But, you know, it is what it is.
Well, I guess he's going to wind up going back to New England whenever he leaves there. He'll what's his name, Josh, will be in position for that coach and GM position when Belichick leaves. So you don't have to worry about him no more. Hey, man, thanks for taking my call. And what's up, Sauce Nation?
Already, Jay. I appreciate you calling in, man.
Yes, sir.
Already.
Later.
Bet. Shout out to Jay. Shout out to the neighbor who brought the fish. Like, this is my thing, man. Like, I want to believe all the talent is there. I want to believe all the talent is available, except for the offensive line. All the talent's available on that offense. Just the line. It's the line, man. Like, come on, man. How do we protect the quarterback? He's going to be under pressure every play. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the sauce line this evening?
What's up, Honcho? It's your boy Mike from Virginia.
Mike, what's the motherfucking deal, man? How about first before we get to the text? How about that women's soccer team, man? What's going on?
Man, everybody thought that this was the year that the U.S. would eat some crow. You know, this was the year that we would finally knock off the mighty USA.
Yeah.
Had the home field advantage, had jets flying by, streaming, you know, the French colors, everything in their favor. But then they faced our team, the defending champion. A team that, at the minimum, has been to the semifinals in every goddamn cup and got that ass handed to them. 85 minutes of that game, I don't know if you saw the game, was controlled by the U.S. It was damn near 3-0. This amazing feat. It really is. We got a hard game on Tuesday, semifinal game. But for them to do what they did today, control that game, go to the semifinals, this is a real good time for our country. It really is. Despite if you're a soccer fan or not, what these girls did today, what these ladies did today, is just amazing. It really is. But as far as the Texans, complete shit show. So you fire your GM. Okay, I'm cool with that. But you mean to tell me there's nobody in the goddamn world that you can get to be the GM? This dude Nick is the saver for our team, and nobody can come close to what this guy can do for us. You know, are you shitting me? Seriously. Not to mention the fact your last GM supposedly was the main issue. After a while, Clowney ain't signed. Clowney gone. Where's Clowney at now? Why is he not signed? If he is the automaton of Kyle, you know, they both, you know, Gamecock people, you know, why he ain't signed yet? Makes no sense. Not to mention, too, that right now, there's a 7-time Pro Bowler from the Redskins, plays tackle, Trim Williams. Don't want to be the Redskins no more. Is screaming to the top of his head, get me the fuck out this team. Why are not the Texans pursuing that? I mean, do you care about your quarterback or not?
Well, they don't give a shit about the quarterback. They don't
you know? And then I'm hearing things, too, not that it makes any difference, that, you know, the backup quarterback is selling in real good with the Texans. What the fuck does that mean? You know, what do you mean he's selling in real good? You know, he's getting good remarks over there. You know, McCarron.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I'm taking that with a grain of salt.
Yeah. You know, it's a complete shit show. And don't forget, the true testament of what we're seeing right now will come to life in a couple of weeks when we start training camp and when we start seeing preseason games. We're going to see what we already know, the many, many flaws of this team.
Yeah.
And it's really going to shed the special light on where we as an organization, where we as far as coaching. I wouldn't say as players, because I don't blame the players.
No.
Every player that we have had heart, and they have done what they could for our city.
No.
I give them that. They've tried, for the most part. But this organization, this ownership, the coaching, the decision making, everything, in my opinion, complete shit show. And we keep saying this, and one day hopefully it'll come true. We as Texan fans need to start holding these fucking people accountable.
Yes.
You know, when are we gonna wake up? You know, everybody's kind of not talking about the Rockets. You know, I give the Rockets this much credit. They want a goddamn win.
Yeah. Every year.
They're going to do everything in their power to fucking win.
Exactly.
And I can respect that. You know? He pretty much said, I'll get rid of all you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
If it means we can win.
Yeah.
You know? And as a fan, even though I'm not a Rockets fan, I'm more of a Spurs fan.
Wow, don't say that.
I am. I love the Spurs, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I can respect that. You know?
Yeah.
You know, it gives me, if I was a Rock fan, it would give me hope.
Yeah.
And say, you know what? We're trying. We're not there yet, but we're trying. You know? We're trying to get where we need to get. As a Texans fan, I don't know what the fuck we got going on.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. Don't understand it. I don't think nobody does. Bunch of people running around just doing shit, firing people, no backup plan. Backup plan goes sour, go north, and we're just gonna stay out the season without that position being filled.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. You know? And we didn't even talk about the coaching yet.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't see how the coaching has improved.
No, I don't either.
I mean,
Only thing that and again, I don't even think that it was an issue with Sean Ryan. I have no issue with Sean Ryan from last year. And I'm not against Carl Smith, you know, but as overall, I don't see it as far as team wise. I don't think that it has improved.
Yeah, it hasn't. It's the same people feeding you bullshit, you know, making you drink the Kool-Aid. Everybody's saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna be good this year." You lucky as a fan base. You lucky if we go 2-1 our first three games. We might go 0-3. We might, because we ain't got an answer for Breeze. I don't care what nobody says. We ain't got an answer for Breeze. You did have an answer for Nick Foles. I saw that firsthand. And then who's the third game? I forgot who we playing week 3. Oh, Chargers. Chargers are a very sneaky team. That one day they can show up and you're like, what the hell is this? And the other day they can show up and like not even play.
Yeah.
Very sneaky team. So yeah, we lucky if we go 2-1 the first 3 games. We might go 1-2. To be honest with you. But yeah, it's a complete shit show. And not to mention, you know, it doesn't make a difference or it doesn't matter, but all this outside interference we got going on too with this, you know, discrimination shit and stuff like that. You know, all these questions we're hearing about players not really playing and still kind of banged up and stuff, you know. I mean, it's a mess.
Yeah.
It really is. But through it all, I will always be a Texas fan.
Yeah.
But I need for my organization, for my team, my ownership, and my coaching to do something. You know, do something, please, for us as fans, to let us know that it's going to be okay. You know? And right now, they ain't doing the damn thing.
Do you think that if O'Brien starts off the first quarter of the season with a losing record, not a tie, but a losing record, do you think that they'll make a move, or do you think they're just going to ride it out with O'Brien this year?
I don't think they have a choice. That they have to keep him because he does too many things. You know, I mean, the ideal census would say let him go, but you can't because he's a head coach. He's involved with the GM. and he's involved with the play calling.
Yeah.
If you were to fire him, you might not win another game that season. Which probably wouldn't be a bad thing, I guess, if we trying to, reset this whole thing. But, yeah, he's, for all we talk about O'Brien, he's a smart man because he put himself in a prediction to where he's needed, supposedly, through the organization. He might be needed through us, because half of us can't stand his ass, but through the organization eyes, he's needed. He has that, we need this guy, whoever happens. He has that title now within the organization. So, do I believe he can get fired? Yeah. But throughout the year, I don't see it happening. I don't. Because of how many different roles he plays within the Texans organization. It would be a complete collapse, in my opinion, if they were to let him go and not try to at least salvage some of the people. But
I mean, would it be better just to let him go and hope that you get a better draft pick if it gets too bad? Instead of trying to go meet the middle of the pack, because we've done that a couple of times, the whole middle of the pack situation.
Yeah, no, it would, and maybe that's something that if it came to that, well, Kyle would say, you know what, I don't care, you got to go. I don't care what happens, how many more games we lose, you're gone. And I could respect that, but I think that with the organization, in my opinion, that they're going to try to establish the season as much as they can.
Yeah.
And that means keep it on to him, at least till the season's over with. So, try to give, I guess, some encouragement to the fan base. Because at the end of the day, it's all about the money.
Yeah. That's what all that matters.
It was once told to me there's only about 4 or 5 teams who are in the NFL who are there to win. The rest of the teams are there to make money. You can see throughout the years who those teams are, who on a constant basis throughout every year are contenders.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. I don't wish no bad on my team, man. I don't.
Yeah.
But goddamn, they ain't showing us nothing. Nothing, zero. I don't feel confident in anything we're doing right now. I don't.
It's tough.
I don't see how you can. It's hard to find something, like I said, to hang your hat on and say that this is what the Texans have done right this offseason. Now, you got places in the town saying, the Texans had a great offseason. They had a great draft. And how? Like, where can you tell me that where did they do better than every other team at anything? Certain teams you can tell where they killed here. Where did the Texans surpass the rest of the division in any moves that they made? It's hard for me to feel that way. I can't see it happen. I mean, they addressed positions of need, but did they really improve in those positions of need? It's a big difference between addressing a position of need and actually improving in that position of need. And so that's my question.
I totally agree with you. And we didn't even touch on the free agency, and we talked about Roby, but the rest of the free agents, they're not proven to be contributors yet. We don't know what they bring to the table. And based when we hear from their fan bases, they're like, you can have them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody. Like everybody we picked up, there was no fan base that was like, damn. I saw a general consensus like, damn, it sucks that he's gone. Jaleel Adai, who I keep forgetting we even picked up. People was like, oh yeah, we're glad he out of there. Fucking Roby, nobody was tripping. No Bronco was tripping about Roby leaving. Who else? The BBC guy. Nobody even half people didn't know who he was. But he's probably the one. And that's the funny thing is that he's probably the one I might have heard the most good things about as far as potential. But it still wasn't like a big deal that he was out of there. Nobody was really tripping on him. Again, I'm questioning the why waste the 7th pick on the fucking fullback. I mean, just it's just so many things that happen. That's a guy I guarantee you would have gotten undrafted free agency. But I guess you want to secure that. You secure the fact that you're going to get that fullback. It's a bunch of crazy shit that the Texans have done, and I don't understand any of the shit.
Yeah, I'm up there for it. It tells you something. I'll say this last point and let people call in. When fan bases are texting you or DMing you and telling you that what you did, as far as picking up a player, was not a good move,
Yeah.
then you know. You already know that something's wrong with what you just did.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, crazy. Just straight crazy.
It is, man. Like I said, I understand want to be happy about your team and have faith in your team, but you got to look at the signs. And a lot of people don't want to. They just want to look at their Texans fandom. They don't want to actually look at the signs. But trust me, players that are liked, nobody's happy that they're gone. You know, that's just a thing. Even if they only played a small role, people appreciate that type of stuff. But you know, it's tough out here, man.
It is, man. It is. It's really tough. But shout out to everybody. Keep your head up. Shout out to Sauce Nation. Shout out to that woman talking to you over there, making people across the world eat that crow tonight. And we'll see what happens.
Already. Well, that's a bet, man. Mike, appreciate you calling in, man.
Yep.
Already. Yeah, Jack. It's like I say, it's a tough situation. All of it is tomfoolery and nonsense that's taking place. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the sauce line this evening?
What's good, Honcho?
What's up, Wayne? What's the motherfucking deal, man? What's on your mind this evening? How you feeling about the future of this franchise, man, and just kind of everything that's taking place from free agency to the draft to the firing and non-hiring, just everything that's happening so far?
I mean, I pretty much already gave my thoughts as far as that shit goes. I mean, Bill O'Brien supposedly had every guy that he wanted assembled on the roster, you know, before the season starts. So he's the whole reason because he's picking the dudes that play. And last I checked, he's the one who got all the responsibility on the football field, not the GM. So why is he always continuously look for scapegoats? Because he didn't ran out of them. Mm-hmm. There's no more such thing as a scapegoat no more. Now all you have to do is just allow your players just to fucking, play. Yeah. You know, if you can call a scheme right, if you can get back to what you were doing Deshaun Watson rookie season, then you can redeem yourself. But chances are you ain't going to do that. You can hear this, people listening. Y'all make sure that the old boy can go back to running that Clemson-style offense, but the Houston Texans way, because when he was doing that, motherfuckers was out here, motherfuckers was talking about the Houston Texans, motherfuckers was interested to see what they was going to do week in, week out basis, and your team had respect, regardless if they were losses or not. You were in games, and it's just like, you can't afford to not have the spotlight on you when your job is already in jeopardy. You know what I'm saying? You're already not doing enough to maintain your job, but then you don't even want to go out in the blaze of glory when you know your shit is on the line. It doesn't make any sense to me, and you're not doing anything to step nothing up, and you delegating responsibilities to people who've never even been in this position before, and then you want to already stop them way before the season even started. Like before draft time, Tim Kelly wasn't even like, I don't know, bro. You still got Mike Devlin. You still got a lot of dudes on here who ain't even really earned their job title, but somehow the wrong guys get let go to go to other places, and you keep the stand-ins, the guys that suck your ass. They the ones who always seem to stay on. So it seems like everybody who's made a certain group excel, those guys always go to other places. But the suck asses and the dudes who are mediocre at their job always get to stay on this football team, hence Mike Devlin. You didn't change your special teams coordinator until last year when you actually find a legitimate special teams coordinator, and you move on from Romeo Cannell to go to Mike Vrabel, only to go back to Romeo Cannell for what reason? Yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But
who does that?
When the shit is broke, you never fix it.
Have you ever seen another team do that?
Never. Especially with this amount of talent. Like, you don't. But, tell the fans who were so optimistic about this shit, a couple of months. Because I found myself rewatching the live draft party we had. And it's a few people, you know, that I'm gonna end up calling out because people were saying we were saying this, but people forget to see that me and you called 11-5, and 11-5 came to fruition before the season. People are hanging on to our hats about everything because Jordan Akins wasn't a good pick where he was. He ended up panning out, but he didn't even get the burn he needed. Kiki only had like 26 catches for 286 yards, and he missed like 10 games. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that we don't have guys that can't play, but what did they really get done on the field when we really needed them? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're not gonna get the most out of dudes, who in the fuck? Like, why? Or like, if you're not gonna get the most of these dudes, why are you constantly going to put yourself in the same position and waste talent week in, week the fuck out? This shit, it's crazy, bro. And like I see somebody, Nathan Winters, he talking about, I'm not talking about Jordan Akins. Jordan Akins is a good player. I'm not saying anything about him. I didn't like the pick when it happened. I mean, I can't even say he panned out because what did he really do? You know, I see Trill wanting me to get up off the goddamn phone. Man, nigga, y'all gonna wait y'all turn, nigga. Just sit down and be patient, punk. Yeah, but anyway, yeah. Oh, and don't think I heard your little fuck ass talking about the motherfucking cinnamon toast. Nigga, fuck cinnamon toast crunch, punk. Nigga, throw that shit in the motherfucking in the grave, like, and flip it upside down. Fuck cinnamon toast crunch, nigga. It's about motherfucking golden grams. Don't ever disrespect it again. Don't ever disrespect it again, punk. Yeah, but anyway, you know, because he just made me think, just seeing his face just now with that funky ass wrench he got, just made me think about, nigga, you need to go ahead and slap yourself with that. Nigga, man, you time yourself out for 5 minutes for talking about fucking cinnamon toast. Get the fuck out of here. Man. Yeah, D-Love was in that motherfucker too. Yeah, nigga, you can get it too. Nigga, fucking Friday is especially, nigga, for D-Love, nigga, and Professor Trill. Both of you niggas can get it. Yeah, but anyway. Back to the real nigga cereal. Yeah, Golden Grams is where it's at. That's what they probably need to serve the Houston Texans, nigga, and Bill O'Brien, nigga, because these niggas right here, they eating Fruity Pebbles or something. They eating, you know, the Roachback cereal. I don't know what they doing, bro. I don't know. They ain't got no fiber in their diet. They not creative in nothing. You know what I'm saying? You have the players that you need, and you ain't going to get it done. But the protection, that's going to be what it is, and Deshaun Watson is going to have to just do some Russell Wilson type, you know, situation. He gonna have to be in that situation until they decide that him. Okay, defending me. Okay, yeah, I thought you was talking shit. I know somebody was talking shit.
No, DeMarcus. It was DeMarcus was over there. Hey,
no, my bad. Yeah, it was DeMarcus. My bad, D-Love. My bad, D-Love. I'll take that off. All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, nigga, I don't give a fuck, nigga. You can get it. I know it ain't over. You can get it later, too. It don't matter. Nigga, I'm going to pour you up a bowl. You going to eat it, too, nigga. Pour it up. Yeah, man. As far as this team, as far as I pretty much gave my opinion on it. Ain't no sense in beating a dead horse, man. I mean, people know how we feeling about it. We gave our thought process. We've been doing analysis. Man, motherfuckers been in comment sections. We didn't even took the gas off of doing so many videos and live streams because these dudes been so fucking depressing. And people are looking for any semblance of hope when this team ain't gave you nothing, you know, to be hopeful about. So what's the good of hope, nigga, when it ain't even nothing to be hopeful for? What, just to go to the playoffs and get your ass spanked again in your own house?
That's if you make the playoffs.
Some of y'all, hey, it is what it is, man. And yeah, I'll go live tomorrow. I ain't got nothing to do. I'll go live tomorrow. So, yeah, I don't worry about all that. But I don't know, man. How you feeling about it? How's everybody else in the chat feeling about it?
Man, it pretty much is the same consensus. I think that people are on accord, you know, as far as the talent is, what the talent is, but it's the Bill having more power, the fact that, you know, he's in control of so much. I don't think too many people are just too keen on that. Like, I mean, he hasn't proven that he deserves that level of reach. Again, you got 2 or 3 different people basically trying to work out one position as far as GM, you know, and it's it's just too many hats for one dude. You know, he got a hat on his head, a hat on his chin, and he ain't got no place for the next hat. He don't know what to do with it. So again, it's a tough situation for O'Brien, man. I just not a tough situation. It's a tough situation for Texans fans. Fuck O'Brien, But we'll see what happens, man. We just got to see what happens. And I think we already know what it's going to be, though.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing this team can really honestly do is surprise you and get like 10 or 11 wins. Yeah, I see so many people, and I'm going to other videos, and I'm just looking at some old draft class, and there's some guys that I used to support, and I looked at their video because they shit got taken down for having the wrong damn name, and they finally got copyrighted and all of that little bullshit, so they got to start all the way over. Damn. And it's just like I'm looking at like motherfuckers, is really talking about like Titus Howard and these dudes is really going, it didn't make no sense, man. It really didn't make no sense that people was really going hard and talking about Titus Howard and this and that. And like we said, it ain't no disrespect to Titus Howard. It ain't no disrespect to no other player that got drafted by this football team. But the fact that this team sought out and believed in these dudes and reached on these guys when they could have got first and second round talent where they were supposed to be deserved is just not kosher in my mind. And if you're willing to do that, what else are you prepared to do when the time comes? But luckily, Cal let his nuts hang and got motherfucking Brian Game, one of the real problems up out of here quickly. And when you can do that to your GM, your head coach is not going to be that far behind. So, hopefully, they don't get this nigga a mile when he only deserves an inch. You know what I'm saying? Because he doesn't have no real room for error. And depending on how he's losing these first 3 or 4 games, it could really decide his career, as a head coach. Because just because he don't coach for the Houston Texans no more don't mean he necessarily down the line is going to be a head coach for another football team. Who's to say another team ain't going to see and really talk about the shit that counts? Because any team that's notable, only a team with a sorry history is going to take a serious chance on Bill O'Brien. Like a team like Miami, a team like, like Buffalo or some shit, the Jets, they'll take a chance on a motherfucker like Bill O'Brien because they weren't left with any other options. You know what I'm saying? So they can be impressed with Bill O'Brien, but no team with any real Dallas wouldn't even take a chance on him. You know what I'm saying? No team with no real history of winning or championship pedigree is going to give Bill O'Brien any fucking thing, but that's just how I'm feeling about it, man. I'm going to go ahead and let Trill get on in here because I know he's finna talk a whole lot of shit once he called in. That was probably him calling like a motherfucker when you kept hanging up the phone. So go ahead and let Trill go get on in here. I don't know how many people you let call. I don't even know how long you've been on. But shout out to everybody, Sauce Nation. Y'all gonna get a live stream for me tomorrow because I only got a couple of things to do, so I'm gonna be pretty much free for the whole day. So y'all gonna get a stream from me tomorrow, definitely.
All right, that's a BET. Well, that's a bit wink, man. Appreciate the call, man.
All right, man. Y'all take care.
All right.
Yeah.
Shout out to Wink, man. What's the motherfucking deal? We got calling in on the sauce line this evening.
Hey, Honcho. It's Cal, the true player McNair.
Well, what's going on, true?
New Pimp C.
What's going on, player McNair, man? What's on your mind, man? What is the future of this franchise, player McNair? What's happening, man? Like why hasn't Cloudy been signed? What is O'Brien's leash like? I mean, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, listen. You guys gonna have to chill the fuck out, okay? I'm over here spending Daddy's money. Y'all got to chill, Roman. Let's put a little bass in your voice, and let's chill the fuck out, Roman. Okay? We're gonna be okay, y'all. Listen. I already know the game that Clowney's gonna play. Clowney don't want to come to camp. That's his thing. Okay? And everybody wondering how come I ain't sending no text messages or this and that. Well, you ever think that maybe, just maybe, players after a while they don't want to receive text messages. They want to do their game plan, and he's going to do his game plan, man. That's the bottom line. Now, where we fucked up, and I've already admitted this shit by firing the son bitch, but we fucked up by getting Gaines. Now, that was Daddy's boy. All right? So what I got to do here is sit back. Look, if this season goes the way everybody thinks it's going to go, you know, that's we all got one person to blame for that now. And listen, I know that we're not going to get Nicky Scissors till after the next year's draft. But listen, bitch, pour me that shit one more time because I'm about to talk, and shut your ass. All right, listen. Look, there's more ways to cut with some scissors than just one. Okay, there's a lot of social media outlets and things like that where communication can still be in effect. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay.
All right, now, listen. Clowney knows I want him here.
Yeah.
Clowney knows I want him here, and I know Clowney wants to be here too. I know deep in his heart, I know he wants to be here. But now he's going to drive up his price, and I understand that. He has every right to do that. So we'll get to him. What we need to do right now is we need to focus on who's in camp right now. Okay?
Yeah.
Sometimes things like this happen. It's happened before. But typically the guys come back to where they know they're going to get paid and be treated right. You can go to a lot of organizations, and they don't do half the shit for you that we do. You can go wherever the hell you think you're going to go, and I guarantee you they don't do that for you. So, but, look, I'm not going to speak on it anymore because right now Clowney's under contract with us. He's franchised. He knows that we want him here. We're going to do what we can to get him here. Now, I'll admit we dragged our ass. But that's all right. Because, you know, true players, we going to make deals happen, baby. That's what we do all day long. That's what, you know.
Straight up.
That's what we do day long. Sometimes it comes in a handshake form, and then sometimes we send our own little messages. You know what I'm saying? True players never really fuck up.
No, that's true.
You know. Now, I was, we're talking about the season. Listen, I know Billy has made some bonehead ass decisions, but you know, a lot of times everybody wants to compare us to the Colts and shit. Well, you know, their coach, he made some pretty stupid ass decisions too during his year. Everybody wants to say he's much of an upgrade, but listen, I can name one game during our 9-game win streak that fucking helped out about 2 or 3 damn fucking teams. All right? And that was the Washington Redskins game. All right? If you recall, we were whipping that ass. And Alex Smith goes out because we injured his ass. All right? Well, don't you know, didn't the Colts actually beat the Redskins after that? I believe they did. And I can guarantee you that Alex Smith would have had a better game against them. They still almost won that game, and Alex Smith would have probably pulled that shit off, and we wouldn't be talking about these goddamn Colts. Even Dallas Cowboys, all you Dallas Cowboys fuckers out there, listen, your fucking ass made it to the fucking playoffs because y'all went ahead and played them Redskins on Thanksgiving Day after we broke Alex Smith's leg. And you fuckers still almost lost that fucking game with Colt McCoy. So you know what? As far as I'm concerned, pour me another one, bitch. There we go. As far as I'm concerned, y'all need to be thanking the Texans for a lot of shit because I think we could have. I think y'all seasons would have been over at that point. Anyways, Honcho, listen, we got a lot of good things going on this team, man. And I'm going to tell you, you mentioned earlier the tight end.
No.
When you really go back and look at it, Deshaun Watson's done a lot of things without a tight end. And I'm not talking bad about Jordan Thomas or even Jordan Akins. Those guys did pretty well. The problem with Jordan Akins, and again, this goes back to the coach. Why the fuck is Jordan Akins playing a fucking fullback position? I don't recall thinking that. When I drafted him, or when we drafted him, I didn't think, well, hell, we got ourselves a hell of a fullback. I thought to myself, we got us a damn good tight end. Well, when you don't play your position all the goddamn time, you're not gonna see any fucking productivity from that. So I've already talked to Bill about that, and I think we talked about that at length last time. And Bill knows how shiny and big brassy balls that I have. So I doubt that shit's going to happen. And that's probably that. I'll tell you what, that's why we went and got the damn fullback from A&M. No. Because I told him, don't you be putting that motherfucker at fullback when he's a fucking tight end. All right? So we got that. And I'll tell you this much. If Warren can, if he can move the chains, then we're gonna start getting more first downs, and we might have some touchdowns in the red zone. Wait, hold on. Hey, Mr. McNair, hey, that's enough, man. You're drinking too much, man. It's cool, baby. Go to sleep. Hey, what's up, Honcho?
What's the deal, Rick? Man, what's on your mind, man?
Man, I'm over here, man. He I was shining on Mr. McNair's shoes over there, man, and then I started hearing rambling, and he's good, man. He partied out. It's Friday, baby. It's fucking Friday.
It's Friday, yeah.
Honcho, all doubters. Fuck them. Fucking Friday, Honcho. Hey, listen. All right, Mr. McNair. Listen. All right, man. Look. So I saw y'all were spending some positivity around the other day.
Yeah. We're trying to be positive, man.
Yeah. Well, man, here's one thing that I thought about. And the funny part about it is I'm still going back to the offensive line, and believe it or not, man, one thing that I liked about the offensive line was Zach Fulton, man. And I don't know if anybody agrees with me on this, but he really didn't have that bad. For one, he was kind of a little bit more dependable than anybody else on the offensive line, it seemed like. So I think we have a little bit of that side. And then if we look at Henderson coming around, that probably might. It's unfair for Henderson because he had an unfair injury that happened to him, and I just kind of get that feeling that if the season would have went on, we might have saw a little bit better productivity on that right side of the line. But when I look at things, and when I really look at it, and I look at how this season went last year, I'm reminded of the fact that I think 5 of those 9 wins were on the road.
Yeah, I think so.
And it was something like that, right? Mm-hmm. And I think about it, and I see all the things that are wrong with our team, and yet our quarterback was able to do stuff with that. If you really look back at it, I mean, how many teams once Demaryius Thomas had to start for us, how many teams were saying, you know what, man, we really got to watch out for Demaryius Thomas? I'm pretty sure they were like, no, make sure, because that dude, he'll break out and ball on you. But I guarantee you everybody was like, look, if they're going to beat us with Demaryius Thomas, then more power to them. They made sure that Hopkins wasn't going to get his, and he still got his, even though, and he was playing on a bum ankle towards the end of the season. Yeah. So when I look at the fact that we're looking at Watson having to throw the ball to the likes of Demaryius Thomas, Vincent Smith, DeAndre Carter, and sprinkle in a QT every now and then, and yet he was still able to throw these touchdowns. And when you like the player just said, there's not a legit tight end. Everybody wants to compare Watson with Mahomes, But man, Mahomes has already had an all-pro offense around him. In my opinion, Watson is going to start making guys be all-pros. And there's a difference in that. There really is a difference in that because Brady is a guy that makes other people all-pros. Yeah. Guys go to other teams from the Patriots, and they don't ball out like they did with the Patriots because Brady's a damn good quarterback. And Watson still helps you win despite that. And the one thing that I remembered hearing earlier in the week on 610, I know that you guys don't really care to hear about them, but Seth Payne, who was man enough to come on your show, did say this, and I when I thought about that, I was like, that's true. The Colts game, the second Colts game where Clowney jumps off sides. Yeah, I feel like that play robbed Watson of his ability to show how great he could be. No. Because I think at that point Watson started feeling it, and he could have come back, and we ended up losing by 3. But I'm looking at some of those games, and I'm thinking to myself, a good majority of those losses, like almost half of those, not losses, but half of those wins came with Lamar Miller being out for 2 games, Blue having to be your starting running back, the wide receiver core just being a DeAndre Hopkins basically, and yet we were still able to pull out wins. Now, unfortunately, we weren't able to pull them together. You can even go and look at the Philadelphia game. The Philadelphia game, to me, I know that we can sit there and look at Watson's career highlights, and we can look at the Seahawks game. We can look at the game against the Patriots in his rookie year. We can even look at that Kansas City game his rookie year. But this game against the Eagles, for me, for some reason, I just look at it and go, man, we're never out of the damn game because of this guy. And when, especially in that Seahawks game, I remember the Seahawks went up by a touchdown, and they showed Deshaun Watson nodding his head like, yeah, I got this, on the sideline. And I thought to myself, you know what? We haven't had a guy like that. And to be honest with you, isn't this Watson's first real off-season of running a full training camp with the team, like with the ones? Yeah. It is. And I just see a guy like Watson actually listening to the Vincent Smith interview about that touchdown catch against Philadelphia. Watson is the one that went up to him and said, hey, what do you like? And when Vincent Smith said, I think we got this here, he said, okay, if it's there, I'm going to you. That's the kind of player that instills confidence in a player that's a rookie coming out of Limestone College to be able to make that play. And when I see that, to me, I feel like I think we even said it last year during the winning season, during the win streak. We even said the Texans are winning despite themselves. Yeah. And I think a lot of that has to do with Watson. And I just feel like Watson being there from day one this year is going to create an offense that is more together. And I think he already knows who's going to block, who's not going to block. I think he knows the small things that he has to clean up, and I think he'll get them done. I know this sounds weird, but I like the fact that he goes on vacation to these other exotic places that he's never been to before. Because to me, that tells me he gets away from the game, so that way when he comes back, he's 100% ready to go. He's all about football at that point. And I don't know, man. It's just things like that always make me say, well, hold on, man. Hold on. Let's pump the brakes on saying that we're going to be 4-12. Because I just don't feel that Watson is going to allow himself to look like shit against the other badass quarterbacks. And really, if you think about it, maybe we've lost to some of those teams. We've lost to the to the Patriots. We lost to the Seahawks. That's Brady and Russell Wilson. But Watson didn't look bad in doing that either. Watson actually had badass games. And that's the one thing that I think. Then when I look at the defensive side of the ball, to me, that's where the negative part comes from. Because I kind of feel like Romeo Crennel's defense is just old. You know, it's just an old defense. But I don't know, man. I mean, we've seen him take our shitty defense and then turn it into a number 1 rated defense too. So, I mean, there's things to look at like that. But to me, the main positive thing here is, ironically, I think the offense might actually do some shit this year. I just get that feeling just because of the fact that Watson has been there, is going to be there from day one, and he's going to get to play. I think last year, man, if you really look at it, the offense itself just didn't have no rhythm going because we were so worried about him getting hurt during preseason. He didn't get any reps underneath him, man. And I don't know. I just think that it's a whole different thing this year in training camp when it comes to Watson, and I think that's going to make the difference in all of this. With Clowney, man, I'm pretty sure, you know, you got to also look at it this way too, man. Agents will tell their guy, hey, no, don't answer any phone calls. We don't know if they're sending out phone calls to Clowney. I know agents will turn around and say, no, don't answer any calls, because the second you answer that call, they're going to think they got you, and we need them to know that they don't have you right now. And you call. It's a negotiation, man. I mean, we shouldn't put it all on the front office. I mean, when it comes to players and negotiation, because players are going to do what they got to do to get paid. And I mean, I can't knock Clowney for that, man. And if Clowney says fuck it, no, can't knock him for any of the shit he does. I mean, he's given us. To me, I feel like he's given us 100%. Feel like he cost us a couple of games, But then again, a lot of players cost us a lot of games. But just when it comes to that, man, I don't know. I'm hearing good shit about the Warren kid. Think that's positive, man. I mean, all we're hearing is ascending news from that guy. I think running back wise, was it Maurice Jones-Drew had Lamar Miller at number 30 or something like that?
Oh yeah.
As rated running back, and I tend to disagree with that. I wouldn't say he's that low. No. I think the problem with Miller is just, to me, has always been the durability throughout the season. Because one reason everybody always talks about the stat with Bill O'Brien being that whenever Bill O'Brien's leading at halftime, the Texans are 33-1 or some bullshit like that. Lamar Miller has a lot to do with that, y'all. Lamar Miller really does. Because one thing that I can say about Lamar Miller is come fourth quarter, when we have a lead, he's been able to run the ball out for us, man, especially with a 4-minute offense. Lamar Miller gets you about good 8 yards here and there, 10 yards. He doesn't get those big chunk yards, but he does get you those yards that seals the game for you. And, I think people forget he helped out with us coming back on the Colts a couple years ago when number 17 was playing for us. So, I think that when you I was one that said that the running back position needed to be upgraded during the draft. Let's see what Deontay Foreman's got, like the caller after me said a while back. Lots of things like that, man. What do you think?
Man, you said something about winning in spite of everything else, and I will agree with that. But I think a lot of that comes down to, again, questionable coaching and having these guys ready to execute. And I think part of that comes down to, as much as I hate to say this name, because I'm not a fan of him regardless of how other people feel, the difference between O'Brien and Kubiak is one thing. Kubiak practice plays to perfection. O'Brien has this super book of plays that he expects these rookies and these guys to just pick up immediately, and that's why you see a lot of these what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of these fucking discipline errors, and that's what happens a lot. We saw a lot of those discipline errors early on, especially from the offensive line with guys, these young guys, and Davenport, and we don't even want to talk about Rankin and everything else. I think that he, again, like I say, this team is talented, and it's just like, this coaching staff is benefiting off the talents of this team. And I think if they do have success this year, what you said about Watson, I agree about Watson's tenacity. Like, that's the only thing that has me positive about this year. That's what I was saying the other day. Like, the only thing that has me positive about this year is the fact that outside of the offensive line, the skill, every other piece on offense is Gucci. We're good. But the offensive line is so bad, will we have the time to execute, to utilize those talents? Will Bill O'Brien be smart enough to get plays off that you can get the ball in the players' hands instead of, like he did last year with a lot of those developed routes, and that took a little bit of time to get going. The fact that the tight ends were always used, didn't have to assist with this offensive line and chips, so they never really got going. Like, it's a lot of the little stuff that comes down to the head coach that I think impacts this team with the decisions that he makes between calling plays, the talent that he's acquired, in the trenches, because games are won and lost in the trenches. Whether it's the D-line, whether it's the O-line, that's where games are won and lost. And that's just my biggest concern, because that offensive line, I mean, I can understand what you're saying about Henderson not really getting a real shot. Fulton kind of is what it is. But, again, all it takes is one weakness in that offensive line, and we know what happens. And again, I don't think anybody has. I don't think we just made that big of an upgrade. We'll have to see what happens. And I'm gonna be highly upset.
One thing that I would go ahead.
No, I said I'll be highly upset too. If I want to see what happens, because I really have a feeling that the Texans do this kind of thing with, they'll play guys because either they paid them or because they used a high draft pick. Don't even mean that they're the best guy to be on the field at that time, but because of the stock that they put into that guy, they'll put him on the field. But I will not be surprised if Howard is not starting this year. And I want to hear the reactions from people, who swore him out he was going to be a rookie of the year and a pro. And again, for an offensive lineman, that's ridiculous shit to say. But all these people who said he's going to be a Hall of Fame, I can already hear the excuse. People say, well, it was just his rookie year, and that's the same. But you said, like, you can't be rookie of the year in your second year, and all these other things. But and I'm going to see I can't wait to see what happens with some of these guys.
The only real positive I can come out with on Titus Howard is that I feel like, if anything, the dude made a name for himself by taking advantage of the stages that he was given. I'll say that about him. Now, can't really say too much about him. We don't know a whole lot about him, So if he's a guy that does take advantage of the stages that he's given, then hopefully that works out here. But I don't think, even if it does, I don't think it's going to work out right away. And again, I think you and I have said this before. That's the thing about this pick. It's that we needed it to be a right away guy, and you didn't pick a right away guy at a right away number in the draft, So that's my thing. One thing too, I will say it because I know I was talking great about Watson, but there are some things on his game that he can improve on that I felt like cost us a couple of games too, which is his check downs, man. Not dropping the ball, checking the ball down to a tight end who's wide open. Not seeing some underneath crossing patterns because he's too busy looking at Hopkins. I think I even sent you like play-by-play photos of him just locking in on Hopkins and not recognizing that the blitz is going to come from that area, from the opposite area, So I would be, to me, everything is kind of like let's see what this person improves on. I want to see what Watson improves on. Because just like I said, all those things, the thing about Watson is he can get hit 5 times, shake off 5 would-be tacklers. gather his feet and throw the ball 15 yards downfield and get you a first down, and everybody thinks that's great, So yeah, man, you're right about Kubiak, man. Kubiak was like that. He did do that. He did, I remember his thing was every play has to look the same, but we're going to run about 20 different plays out of this one formation. And it does take a disciplinarian on the offensive line side to do that. You think guys like Davenport would have made it with Kubiak? I don't think so at all. And it wouldn't have been because of you're not pass protecting well. It would have simply been because of the inability to not jump off sides, or to not have a false start, or the holding penalty. To me, that was the bigger deal with the offensive line, was the way they used to shoot our offense in the foot. Some of the sacks, again, we can blame anybody on a lot of those sacks, but when it comes down to we're at the 15-yard line and it's 3rd and 2 and we got a chance to keep the ball and possibly score a touchdown, and then your ass jumps off sides, and now it's 3rd and 7 and we can't overcome that, and now we got to kick a damn field goal. That's the area right there, and that's where I agree with you saying that, man, it's the coaching, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Rick, man, I hate to have to cut you. I got to take one more call before we wrap it up.
You got it, man. I know I took too long.
Now, y'all, good shout out to you and the player McNair. Hopefully, he didn't have him a good beverage, and he resting comfortably over there. Maybe he'll wake up next week and make some good decisions.
He's good, man. I'll talk to him for you. I'll be like, hey, man, you might want to get on. You might want to get on the ball on this fucking signing clowny shit, man. Come on. All right, man. I'll holler at you.
All right, Ricky. Appreciate the call, man.
Later.
Bet. This nigga, Professor Trill. Come on with it, Trill. I got you. You're going to be the last call, man. Man, look, there's no point in arguing, Black Line. You're going to believe what you want to believe. No owner comes in and picks every fucking member of a staff. Coaches bring their own staffs with them half the time. Guys do work. That's why. So you telling me that Bob Manier said, hey, come on in, fucking Bill O'Brien. I just so happened to pick every guy that worked on your Penn State staff with you. And I just so happened to pick a couple of your buddies up. These are guys, the fucking owners don't pick the fucking staff, man. It shit does not even make sense. Why would a coach go into a situation like that? It is exactly what you said. That's exactly what you said. You know what I'm saying? The main person is the head coach and the GM. And the head coach, I just said the head coach picks his staff. And you're like, well, staff don't get credit. Anyway, what's the motherfucking deal, Professor Trill? What's on your mind, man?
Oh, man. Jesus Christ. Why can't... Damn, y'all ain't have one good call this whole goddamn song. Not one. All y'all niggas is on some bullshit. Every single one of y'all, from the top to the motherfucking bottom. Bruh, Roman, what the fuck? You gonna sit up here and actually say Deshaun Watson is better under pressure than Patrick Mahomes? Like he had a fucking choice. He didn't have a goddamn choice. Fuck you mean? And I'll come back to you last, sir, out of respect. Now, the last few callers, I don't know what the fuck y'all been... Look here, bruh. I'm gonna come out and say it. Deshaun Watson is trash. When he has to play behind this bullshit-ass offensive line, ain't nobody gonna be good, bro. Look, Deshaun Watson is not a motherfucking miracle worker, my nigga. You sit up here saying, I don't think we're gonna go as bad as 4-2. How the fuck we ain't? We got worse. Other teams got better. Our schedule is way harder than it was last year. So we was barely beating the rejects last season. How you think we're gonna beat the creme de la creme this year? What the fuck is you niggas smoking? Come on, man. Y'all some old 6'10" straight into the vein ass niggas. I'm tired of listening to y'all. Shut the fuck up. Please, just stop talking. Y'all not making no fucking sense. This is not going to be a good year. We are going to crash and motherfucking burn, my niggas. a shit show. The off season has been terrible. There's nothing about this season that's gonna look good in any way, shape, or fucking form. It's not. And then one of you had nerve enough to say, well, I'm gonna learn everything I need to learn about how we play in the preseason. Man, we always play good in the preseason. Yeah. But as soon as the season kick off, they go to kicking off in our motherfucking ass. That's what happened. Come on, man. Get off the bullshit. The fuck is wrong? Lord have mercy. The defense is going to be just as bad as it was last year. Clowney is already fucking disgruntled, so he's not going to give full effort. And, yeah, he fucked up one game, and he cost us severely. But you can't put the whole game on him. But then again, you can't alleviate him from his mistakes. That contributed. So you can call it what you want to. It was fucked up. It was a fucked up game by the whole team. Yeah, Watson was off. That pretty much that one game where it was very obvious. But I mean, come on, bruh. He spent the whole year getting knocked the fuck out. So you mean to tell me after taking that fucking beating every fucking week, you can't miss a throw or two? You can't fuck up a read or two? No. Well, you ain't got no faith in none of these 5, 7 motherfuckers in front of you? Do y'all realize that everybody in our division pass rush has gotten better from it was last year, and our offensive line is even more suspect now than last season? I don't see how y'all not seeing 2 plus 2, man. It's not that fucking hard. We're not going to be good. So y'all coming out here with this 9 and 7 shit. Who the fuck y'all think we got coaching this team? It's the same nigga we had the past 5, 6 years. He gonna do the same shit. He ain't done nothing different yet. But yet y'all expecting a different. Get off the bullshit. All y'all niggas are smoking that Dr. Rabbit. Each and every one. I'm sick of all y'all ass. Sick of all y'all.
Oh, shit.
But anyway, I'm off that. Mr. Wink and Mr. Honcho. How dare you motherfuckers mention that bullshit ass cereal?
Man, get off the gas.
It's not even in the same stratosphere.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch ain't even a staple cereal. That shit dusty. Shit is trash. The shit is just.
Now wait. Now wait now.
Okay.
Hold on now. I do fuck with the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but that's not my favorite cereal.
Okay.
I said it was Fruity Pebbles. That's what it.
Hey, you know, Fruity Pebbles is the official cereal of Pride Month, so I ain't even finna go there.
Hey, you can call it however you want, bro. I'm still fucking with it. Now, Cinnamon Toast Crunch is a tie with second with the Strawberry Mini Wheats. I fuck with that cereal heavy, too. Strawberry
Mini Wheats?
Yes, sir. That shit good, bro. That shit good. What you talking about? That shit is good. But anyway, those my top 3. And, of course, Reese's Puffs. Everybody like Reese's Puffs.
Yeah, Reese's Puffs go hard. Okay, I can't.
I just looked up the listing for the top 20 cereals sold in the U.S. 10 is Fruity Pebbles. 5 is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Guess what's not on the list?
Man, because niggas ain't true. But you know what? But come on, this is America. Come on.
Wait. Now, hold up now. I want you to understand something. They got Kix. Kix is on the top 19.
Kix is holding.
That's not even a real. Nigga, Kix is trash, bro.
Look,
what the fuck is a Kix, bro?
Look, you talking about Frosted Mini Wheats,
Honcho.
Strawberry Frosted Mini Wheats.
Honcho.
That's fraudulent health cereal.
What the fuck is a Kix, Honcho?
Yeah, you ain't gotta know what it is. You just know it's a Kix. That's what it is. It don't need a definition.
Nah, bullshit. Come on, man.
What was
Honcho.
Which one was
Golden Grams ain't even got a fucking mascot.
It don't need one.
It's a little fat ass drop of honey. That's y'all fucking mascot.
That's all you need to know.
Out of here.
That's all you need to know. What else does it need? So you telling me the mascots makes the cereal? Come on, Cookie Kristen had like 15 different mascots.
Come on, Honcho, be real. You grew up watching the Flintstones, nigga, right?
Yeah.
There go your Fruity Pebbles.
Man, Flintstones was racist. I can't fuck with Fruity Pebbles.
Come on, now you know damn well you the Bam Bam Pebbles, nigga. Give me 100, Honcho. Give me 100.
Look, when they got on, what was her name? Wilma and Betty. Look, they all got the bit. Look, Betty
was Wilma, man.
Yeah, Betty was the brunette, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she would have got to work.
Wilma was on that bullshit.
Mikey was the one. There was Mikey who ate the Kicks. I couldn't remember if it was Life cereal or Kicks that had Mikey Likes It.
Shit, nigga, I don't know. That's way back.
Nah, see, Black Light, I'm done with you, man. I'm not even arguing about the GM stuff no more. Frosted Flakes? Frosted Flakes is like a generic. Frosted Flakes ain't even a real cereal because anybody can use the name. Like, you know those cereals, just the name is so generic, everybody, like anybody can name their shit cornflakes because that's exactly what it is. Like anybody can, you can get generic Frosted Flakes, they can still call it Frosted Flakes because it's just the name is so generic. Now, I ain't hating on Frosted Flakes. I ain't gonna act like they, I ain't rock with Tony the Tiger and all that for a little bit, but I can't just put them up there, man. Look, but the Golden Graham disrespect is just because but look at the current state of America. Would you agree with most Americans on most topics these days?
Probably not. No.
So that's why Golden Grahams ain't in the top because they ain't real. You know, Americans ain't real about their shit.
Come on, man. You know damn well these little kids ain't biased, my nigga. Come on, Honcho. Kids don't like what they gon' like.
Man, I don't know,
you can try
man.
to cook them motherfuckers a home cooked meal all you want to, but as soon as that little motherfucker see them golden arches, you already know what time it is, Honcho. Come on now, man. Come on now. You know
they love them fucking plastic burgers. Man, I whipped up some fire ass salmon the other day, man, and Lil was talking shit. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have some pizza. I'd forget you in that goddamn pizza. Your ass gonna starve tonight, goddamn. I made sure she ate every piece of that goddamn salmon. Every piece she eat a whole damn pizza, act like the pizza. That salmon was hitting. I ain't saying it just because I made it. That shit was good in a bitch. Shit. But
I ain't gonna let y'all motherfuckers sit up here and disrespect my series with your old depressed DeAndre Hopkins looking ass sitting up there talking shit about some goddamn Golden Grahams. Fuck out of here.
Golden Grahams holding. Golden Crisp ain't shit, but Golden Grahams is holding. Golden Crisp they barely got any. That shit tastes. How does something taste vague? That's how Golden Crisp. This shit just tastes vague. Like it don't even.
Here's the fucked up part, huh? So you know what the number one selling cereal in the U.S. is?
What's that?
Cheerios.
Wow. Regular Cheerios?
Regular ass Cheerios. Number 2 is Honey Nut Cheerios.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
That's tough. Yeah.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is number 5. I was real surprised. I'm like, regular ass Cheerios? And I'm like, that must be what the grown folks eat.
Yeah, that shit.
The old folks, they eating a regular ass Cheerios because I can't fuck with no regular ass Cheerios. It got to be the Honey Nut at least.
Yeah, that shit tastes like cardboard. That shit's tough.
Even when you got to fucking sit up here and do an algebraic equation of how much sugar to put in the motherfucker, that'd be fucked up.
And then the sugar don't even sit right on them hoes. It like it's rolled off the hose.
It goes straight to the fucking bottom. It goes straight to the bottom. So basically, you drinking sugar milk with cereal, man. That's all the fuck you doing.
That's fucked up. Yeah, that shit tough, man. That's a bad situation. The Honey Nuts is holding. Honey Nut Cheerios is holding. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I can fuck with some Honey Nut Cheerios. But the other ones is tough, though, yeah.
But I'm going to have to, when I get home, man, I'm going to try to get home around the 4th. I'm going to have to go buy me a box of Golden Grahams.
Yeah.
And see. I'm going to have to check it out because I don't remember ever trying it. So.
Look, I don't even eat cereal like that anymore. I damn near been tempted to go buy a box. I passed cereal out the other day. I was like, hey, let me see what's going on in this bit. But you know it's an underrated cereal. A lot of people ain't never fuck with O's cereal. It's like it's Quaker. It's called O's, like O-H.
Yeah, those are golden, the honey golden O's,
yeah.
The same motherfuckers that make the Golden Grahams. It's just different shape. Those is good though.
Yeah.
I remember them. I ain't had them forever.
Yeah, I don't think they have them at every store. You gotta kind of hunt to find them O's.
Yeah, but I can guarantee you this: there's gonna be plenty of boxes of them Golden Grahams on the shelf. I might have to search for them Toast Crush, but I know for damn sure them Golden Grahams gonna be sitting there. Motherfuckers probably stale than a motherfucker, man.
When you turn on the cereal aisle, the first thing you're gonna see is Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and the reason why is it's gonna be on the floor. Because it's gonna be overloaded. It's gonna be on the floor.
There's a reason, Honcho, man.
So somebody done kicked the box down the aisle.
Why you think you see the golden arches everywhere? There's a reason, Honcho.
Man, look, that's why everybody in America falling off because of these goddamn books. See, people make bad decisions. You know, Americans make bad decisions. That's all that is. You know, I ain't even trying to hear all that. Golden Grahams is the shit, and that's all. I ain't gonna say it no more.
You and we could suffer from cereal retardation, man. Y'all shit. And when
Yeah.
you got kids, you know, goddamn well your kids ain't eating them goddamn golden grams. That's probably why you like them so much, because your kids won't touch your goddamn cereal. That's probably what it is. You too, Honcho, live like I ain't eating that bullshit. Where my cinnamon toast crunch and fruity peppers at, man? Come on now, y'all niggas cheap.
Shit, she lucky if she get some goddamn Honey Nut Cheerio. I'm gonna get the fancy shit. I'll be on some whole shit. I ain't gonna lie, cause she already eat too much sugary shit. Look, you go get some more regular ass shit. I'm grown. I can get this shit. When you grown, you can buy your own damn cereal. You gonna get these Honey Nut Cheerios. I'm gonna get these Reese's Puffs. You know, I'm gonna get some of this other shit.
Oh man, Reese Puff is always a go-to. I can eat them anytime, whatever. I'll never have to have a taste of them, John.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's the only whole shit I be on. If I do, it's been a while. It's been a few months. Damn, it probably been close to a year since I bought some cereal. But I'll be on some whole shit with the cereal now. You're gonna get these Honey Nut Cheerios. You're gonna like them. I'm gonna get this other brightly colored box with all the characters and shit on it. You know. I've had those before. I like those. I bet you did like them. These mine. You ain't getting those.
Man, my ex turned me on to them hoes, and I don't know why. I don't know. I can't explain it. Maybe it was what happened after I had my first bowl of fruity peppers. I don't know. Maybe just bring back memories. I don't know. A little nostalgia going on. I don't know.
That's tough, man. Look, you better not. Ain't no reason for the brace, but better not go. What you talking about, stenographer? I don't know what you over there. What you insinuating in that situation? Okay.
Anyway, what's going on in the den this evening, man?
You know, it's Friday night. We gonna try to keep this. You know, what we had 3 of them so far. The Talking Dirty After Dark. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. That first one was terrible. The first one was the worst shit that ever happened in the den. But the last two have been. The last 2 have been pretty good, so we're going to try it again until they ruin it, you know, until they, you know, women folk, until they ruin it, we'll keep it going. As long as they don't ruin the shit, we'll keep having the conversation. But as soon as that shit start going back to those first night levels, I think we're going to end that little program. But yeah, so we'll see what's happening. That's going to be the combo for the night, definitely.
All right. I'm going to get off. Let this be the end of the sauce this evening. So shout out to everybody in this chat, including the Golden Graham lovers and motherfuckers.
Gang, gang. I already Professor Trill.
Hell no.
Appreciate the call, man.
All right, man.
Nah, already. Shout out to Professor Trill, babe. We're going to wrap it up on that. We got to get ready for the den. Yeah, man. Tonight in the den, it's grown folks conversation, so all the kiddos, y'all might as well not even tune in because this ain't for none of y'all. You know, I done put the little adult warning on there. You know, I don't know, it might not be no mixture. I'll see. I have to decide depending on how long the den is if it's gonna be a mixture or not. I don't know. We don't like you. Mixture crew don't like you, Kenneth. Everybody else like everybody. Mixture crew don't like you. The rest of the mixture crew get along pretty good. They just don't like you. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, yeah. You know what I'm saying? That'll work. You got bring all 5, 6, 7, 8 of your accounts. I'll block them all. You know, I enjoy it. Sometimes it just feels good to block for no reason. So anytime Kenny slide through, I'm just going bloop, hit that block button. You know what I'm saying? And then the den is live. The den is the livest conversation. Like I love the sauce. The sauce is great. Texans talk, sports conversation, but the den is. You must be mentally prepared before you enter the den. That's all I'm gonna say, man. That's all I can tell you is women are ruthless. It's some ruthless folks in there. So you got to be careful. You got to come prepared. You got to bring your A game to the den. Otherwise, you know, y'all, if you ain't ready, you might get ran off. But here's the deal, man. Shout out to Voodoo Child. I appreciate the love. Dropping some sauce. That ain't dangerous. I'm thinking about the den. Dropping some sauce in the sports today in the chat. Shout out to Voodoo. Shout out to everybody who come through. Look, I'm telling y'all come to the den. The den is like 80% women now. It used to be a fucking sausage party. The den is like 80% female now. I was looking at the shit. It's like 77 to 23, something crazy like that. Like I say, just be prepared. You know, but with that being said, you know, tonight should be very interesting. I appreciate all y'all for coming through. Shout out to Wink, shout out to Ricky D, shout out to Jay, shout out to D Love, shout out to Roman. Let me show you meet him. Shout out for Mike from Virginia.
I appreciate everybody who called in this evening, man. And we'll be back at it. Like I said, we're gonna start bringing more sauce. Like I said, I've been cleaning some stuff up on the channels and doing some stuff for Sauce Sports TV. So make sure if you want that Rockets talk, there will be some Rockets talk on Sauce Sports TV tomorrow. And we're gonna try to get I'm gonna holler at the roundtable, see what they got going on. And like I said, when we do the roundtable streams, we won't do calls, but we'll take like text messages, from text in from the text line and from like Twitter and stuff like that. So if y'all wanna do it like that, because like I said, when you just call in, it's hard for the roundtable can hear you, but it's as far as the exchange of communication, they can't necessarily talk all the way back. So it's tough. So with that being said, yeah, it's toxic. Look, but that's what I'm saying. I'm telling y'all think, oh, it's ladies, man. The den. Look, you better have some killer instinct. You better have some killer instinct in the den, because the ladies will call in and talk about your motherfucking ass. They don't give a shit. So if you on some court, they'll talk about, who is this in the chat with this bullshit, and they will talk about you. They have no shame. But shout out to all of y'all who fuck with the sauce in the den. If you ain't in the den, hey, you can go to denshowlive.com. It'll take you to the den. Den at 10. I'm gonna catch y'all later on. I appreciate y'all coming through. I'm gonna go grab something to eat. And that being said, hey, shit, I don't know, nigga. Fuck it. I'm gone. Y'all over here talking about. Yeah, I know I still got the mic on. I'm gonna do what I want. Who got Tree Fitty? Goddamn Loch Ness Monster. Keep asking for money. I ain't got Tree Fitty for the Loch Ness Monster. But all that other good stuff. Sauce Nation, y'all the freshest motherfucking ingredients in the world. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. Most of all, y'all stay saucy. Hey.